Welcome back friends to the class 19. In the previous class, we have discussed the difference between pledge, hypothecation and mortgage. And in this video, we will discuss about what is fixed charge and what is the floating charge. So fixed and floating charge are not different from the pledge, hypothecation and mortgage. When you read this topic carefully, you will understand that pledge, hypothecation and mortgage are somehow part of fixed or floating charge concept, right? So fixed and floating charge is basically an umbrella under which pledge, hypothecation and mortgage concept are there. So what is fixed charge? The assets on which charge is created, the assets which are given as security on which charge is created can be clearly identified and separated. You can clearly say that this is the security that belongs to me. On this security, I have given the loan. This is the security that belongs to me. For example, in car loan, you can clearly identify your car, which you have financed to the borrower, right? So in land and building also, you can clearly identify which asset belonged to you, right? So in land and building, we are doing mortgage, right? In plant and machinery, we are doing hypothecation. In vehicles, we are doing hypothecation. In gold, we are doing pledge. So all pledge, hypothecation and mortgage are somehow covered in the fixed charge mechanism also, and part of them is covered in the floating charge mechanism also, right? So the asset on which a charge is created can be clearly identified and separated. That is the uniqueness of fixed charge DOM, right? So this is accordingly more concrete and secured way of financing the borrower, because you can clearly identify your security, because there is no ambiguity which your security is and which is not, right? So what is the floating charge? The assets which are given as security to the bank are under rotation. They keep on coming and going out. They keep on coming and going out, keep on coming and going out. So they are under regular rotation. Thus, there is no specific tag on that asset. For example, a borrower who is manufacturing some garments has taken a CC limit from you, and you have taken charge over the inventory of the borrower, over the stock of the borrower. Now the borrower is having stock of 10 t-shirts, 10 t-shirts. So you have taken the charge on that stock, right? So what have you done? You have hypothecated that stock with yourself. So you cannot control the movement of that stock, because in order to run the business, he has to sell those t-shirts, he has to buy new t-shirts and sell those t-shirts. So your charge remains on the stock, but you have not, you have not fixed that only these t-shirts belongs to me, and you cannot use these t-shirts, and since these are given as a security to me, right? So stock and debtors, they keep on coming and going. So this is less concrete and secured, because you don't have control over the asset. The borrower keeps on using that asset the way he likes, right? The important concept here to understand is the crystallization of the floating charge. What does we mean by crystallization of floating charge? It is the concept where the floating charge is converted into fixed charge. Means the floating charge, which has the feature of no separate identification of the asset. You have not identified the t-shirts, right? Because they are coming in and going out. So this charge is converted into all the features of fixed charge. Now, if the charge is done, if the floating charge is crystallized, that means the t-shirts are now tagged to you. The borrower cannot use these t-shirts to sell in the market, right? So borrower loses the right to use these assets. Now, under what circumstances this crystallization happens? There are majorly three circumstances. When the borrower discontinues his business, the bank issues the letter and asks the borrower that these assets now belong to me, these stock, these debtors now belong to me, and now you cannot sell this stock in the market, and all the recoveries from these debtors will now be used to repay my loan. In the event of liquidation, when the company is getting insolvent or liquidated, then in that scenario also the crystallization of floating charge happens. And the third one, which is very important for us, is the default in the loan. Whenever borrowers default in the loan turns NPA, the bank issues a letter to the bank to freeze their stock and debtors. So on the date of the notice, the crystallization of floating charge happens and the borrower loses the right of using that stock and receivables amount, right? So this was the concept of fixed and floating charge. In the next video, we will discuss about the exclusive charge concept, first pari passu charge, second pari passu charge. What is this concept? What does it mean? It is a very technical concept which is majorly used in mid corporate fundings. We will learn about it in the next video. Thank you very much.